nothing Christian about Times Square at all. It's culturally significant, not for Christianity, but for advertisements and degeneracy.
Yeah, but symbolically, Muslims have no basis there.
For the United States, Sneako, look, bro, it's very simple. It's culturally significant for the United States, and the United States is a Christian majority country with Christian roots. It's that simple, bro. This isn't like, dude, America's not a Muslim country, and it never will be. And you just got. It's not a
Christian country. It's a country with freedom of religion. The founding father was a Freemason.
It's more of a Christian country than it's a Muslim country. There's literally government holidays that are based in Christianity that are not based in Islam, bro. Like you got to understand.
Jewish holidays too. And if we're gonna follow the current administration,
bro, this is why niggas hate Muslims, bro. This rhetoric right here, it's like this crazy entitlement to I could pray wherever I want, freedom of religion. I'm just gonna do what I want to do, bro. Just because you could doesn't mean
that's
you
American
should.
values, freedom of religion.
But here's the thing: just because you could doesn't mean you should, and this is precisely why people get annoyed by Muslims because of this wild entitlement.
Okay, great. You said should. Why should we not pray in Times Square?
I just told you there's more downsides to upsides. There's way more downsides religiously, economically.
That's been proven not true. That's been proven not true if you fall into the hate. Myron, is Islam the truth?
Yes, bro, but you don't have to force people to look at it. Okay.
Nobody forced. It was amplified. People saw it because people got really upset. No, people.
You're literally forcing them. You're praying in Times Square. What other reason is there to do it? What other reason is there to pray there with such a huge audience? It's for attention.
The majority of people saw it because it went viral online. The people there, it wasn't obstruct. It wasn't like forcing anybody to do anything.
Which proves my point. If it went viral, that was the intention.
Okay, but it went viral because of the hate that people have on Muslims. Which is it right or is the hate on Muslims right or wrong?
Look,
it's wrong, and if you believe in it, you're a retard because it's perpetuated by these forever wars that our leaders get us into.
So it's wrong to get mad at it. So let's fight for the truth. If they are wrong,
let's take a step back. Do you believe everything I said Islamically has some sort of grounding? It's better to pray in a masjid, yes or no?
Yeah. It's better to pray in Medina than a masjid too.
Why are we arguing?
Bro, this rhetoric is exactly why niggas are
we cannot fit.
Bro.
Everybody could not fit inside a masjid. There were more people that would fit in any New York City masjid.
Yo, my brother was
I think New York City has
this is go
some of the highest.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just gonna call it like it is. This is go fucker mentality. This is retard nigga shit. My brother broke it down.
You're error, bro. They call you a goat fucker, Myron. This is what they call you. You're using this as like.
Hold on. No, because real talk.
I'm Asian, right? I'm Asian and black. I'm not even a goat fucker. Like that's what they call Arabs, not Muslims.
I've been listening to my brother debunk all of your fucking arguments systematically. He's absolutely cooked you, and you're still here arguing for it, and it's ridiculous. And this is the go fucker mentality I'm talking about. There's no upside religiously. There's no upside, from a viewpoint. There's no upside in any manner whatsoever, but you're still arguing for it because it's like, I can do it, so I'm gonna. This is precisely why people don't like Muslims and get mad, because they look at it like, just because I can, I'm going to. Bro, you're proving that right. You're proving it right.
So you're saying that people hate Muslims because
my brother dismantled you in every single way, and you're still going on this dumbass topic. Bro, it is not a Muslim country, and it's that simple. This entitlement is why niggas are tired of Muslims.
It's not a Christian country.
It's
not a Christian country.
It's more of a Christian country than a Muslim country. Even if you make that argument, it's more of a Christian country than a Muslim country. The biggest holiday is literally Christmas. What the fuck is in that? Jesus Christ.
Christmas has no basis in the Bible. First off, December 25th is not even listed as Jesus' birthday. So this is a more majority pagan holiday where Christmas trees, and obviously it's good. I think it's good people celebrate, but Christmas has been secularized and has been infiltrated by marketing. It's this gift giving where you come down the chimney. The majority of Christmas celebrations have nothing to do with Christianity anyway.
It has no biblical backing, but culturally it's Christian.
Bro,
and look, you were saying earlier, okay, Muslims pray in Times Square. What's more Christ-like? Them bowing their heads on the ground, likening themselves to the verse in Matthew where Jesus fell on his face, he prayed. I get it. You're giving people way too much credit for what they deserve. No one's going to look at it that way. Islam optically is foreign to somebody who's white American Christian, even though I will agree what we do is Christ-like. We do fast. We do abstain from sex before marriage. We do abstain from alcohol. You're right. But your thought process and your framework to assume everybody else will look at it that way is vehemently wrong, especially when propaganda, mainstream media, everybody who has influence and a voice, most of the people at least, will say the exact opposite and never educate themselves to the extent to actually let people know what the truth is about Islam and how it parallels with Christianity.
This is an L, and hold on. It's an L optically, it's an L religiously, it's an L in every single regard. Are there some upsides to it? Sure. But there's way more downsides. And again, like I said before, this entitlement that
well, you didn't help. I mean, Myron, you were the one pushing the anti-Times Square prayer, like one of the most people, like you were playing into their hand by doing it. You were playing into the Zionist propaganda by yelling about this.
It is more destructive than beneficial is my point. So if there's less upside than downside, then why do it? And I'm telling you, like, this is what I mean when I say, like, niggas are retarded go fuckers, because they don't understand that this has more negatives than positives. And this is why people get mad at Muslims, because it's like, bro, y'all are the minority. You guys do this shit, and you guys would never allow this in your own country. Again, if Christians went to Dubai,
they do allow it in their country.
If Christians went to the Burj Khalifa and did the same exact shit, they would not be allowed to do it. This is why people get agitated with Muslims.
You have no proof of that. There's no evidence to support that people get arrested for praying outside the Burj Khalifa.
Bro, no one breaks the law in the UAE because they have an apartheid when it comes to foreigners. If a Christian foreigner goes to UAE and tries to pray in front of the Burj Khalifa, they're definitely getting arrested. Bro, you could do like 20 years in jail.
Where's your proof of that? You keep saying this as a fact, but there's no truth.
The point is, though, these Middle Eastern
the same level of reciprocation that we do in the West at all, bro. Like, at all. And that's fine. That's actually a good thing that they don't bend.
No, Muslim countries allow for freedom of religion. Wait, Ryad, just one point. Myron keeps saying that this is why.
Let me say this really quick. I swear to God, hang on to it really quick.
Go ahead.
These Gulf countries and these Muslim countries have theocratic regimes for the most part. So even though they may not be like this hardcore Sharia, Dubai, Qatar, Bahrain, they all have like Muslim elements within the government. That's something the United States does not have. There's no like Christian Bible that rules the law, as we said earlier. So that's the whole point. Like, I think you're kind of missing is these Muslim countries have a theocratic rule that is Muslim. And so Muslims are represented not only culturally, but legally, something that Christians don't have here. And so if a Christian rather, goes to pray in public, and by the way, Coptic Christians exist in Egypt in the large masses. There's so many Orthodox Christians in Egypt. From Sudan, where we're from, there's actually a decent Coptic population. I understand they can coexist, but like a mass spectacle of prayer, like what was done in Times Square, would we met with some sort of demand by the government to not do that shit again? I'm almost positive of that. Although we have seen in the West Bank Christians parading on Easter and all that, and talking about Al-Masih, I will grant that because I already know what the rebuts are going to be. But for the most part, right, exceptions don't make the rule. For the most part, if you put a blanket over it, the tolerance is not the same on both ends. That's not our fault. That's not our fault.
Can you give me one piece of evidence? Where has this happened? Where's one piece of evidence people would be arrested for praying in a predominantly Muslim country?
I didn't say they'd be arrested. I said that the government would respond negatively. I think there would be negative backlash.
Yo, it's simple. The fact that they don't do it is proof in itself. the proof that they don't do it.
Is that why? Or are people not really praying the same way they used to in other faiths besides Islam? Is that really why they're not doing it?
No one wants to end up in jail, bro, in a Muslim country. Like that.
You think that's why people aren't praying because they don't want to get arrested?
Yes.
You just... Okay,
yes.
Until you provide a piece of evidence here, you're just making this up. And you said that this is why people hate Muslims. This is not why. And you know this.
We have to have a little bit of common sense. You seriously think how many people did you have there at Times Square? Like 100?
200.
Okay. You think if I took 200 Christians and they prayed in front of the Burj Khalifa, they wouldn't be stopped or kicked out? Realistically speaking?
There's no where in any sort of legal doctrine in the UAE says that they can't do that.
That's fine. If you honestly think,
but you're just saying this. But what's your proof? Like you're literally citing nothing.
Again, the reason why it doesn't happen is because Muslim countries don't have tolerance for shit like that, which is a good thing, by the way.
The UAE has tolerance for things like I like Dubai. No disrespect to the UAE, but they do have a lot of tolerance for a lot of prostitution that happens there. Like they allow a lot of people to walk around. They don't.
Sneako, what's the key though? What's the key? It's kept on the low. You're not supposed to be overt about it. Right?
Is it?
Yes, it's kept on the low. And it's only
the first place we went to, it was literally all over the lobby of the 5 Palm Hotel.
Well, here's the thing. Of that area only. Everywhere else, no. It's like a don't ask, don't tell. But praying in front of the Burj Khalifa as Christians and openly doing it like y'all did in Times Square, that's going to be met with resistance, bro. And if we can't even agree on that,
there's no evidence to support that. And you keep saying, I want to go back to a point. You keep saying this is why people hate. You keep saying this is why people hate Muslims. That's just not even true. The reason that people have a negative attitude towards Muslims is because of years of propaganda calling Muslims evil terrorists. Saying like when they repost videos where like they keep posting this video. I'm sure you've seen it on my birthday when Frank pooped on my rug. And I started clip armor like, I hate dogs. I love dogs. I'm joking. They use that to be like, Muslims are evil and they hate dogs. The reason people hate Muslims are all lies. The terrorist ideas, It's not because they're trying to impose and, oh my God, they're praying here. It's because they just spread lies.
Yeah, so
this is that's false.
So let's have some common sense here, Sneako. Let's have some common sense and higher IQ. If we know that they spread lies, if we know they control the media, if we know that they control the discourse, if we know they have this enormous amount of power in the media to push out false narratives, why the fuck would you add kerosene to it by praying at Times Square when you get no religious benefit? You only hurt yourself optically. It's low IQ.
You get religious benefit. You get religious benefit for praying. You just get more animosity.
My brother just
that's the
proved
differentiation.
Two,
If they're spreading all these lies. Okay, hold on.
Bro,
you said earlier.
My brother just proved there's no religious benefit to it compared to just praying in a mosque.
No. There still is religious benefit to pray. Praying, you worship is. You know this, bro.
At Times Square compared to a mosque.
Yeah, no, we're not compared to a mosque in general. You said there's no religious benefit. That's false. You get religious benefit by praying.
Within Times Square, I'm talking. My argument is specifically Times Square. I'm not talking about public. I'm talking Times Square. That my argument is literally only on Times Square.
Okay, you get benefits for praying. Period. You benefit from praying.
But you could do it at a mosque and not have all the issues.
I know. I'm aware. You said there's no religious benefit. That's false. You get benefits for praying. Second, if they are spreading all these lies, what's the best way to fight against lies? You said earlier, Islam is the truth.
I was just going to answer that.
So if they're spreading lies, the best way to fight back against lies is with the truth, which we all agree. The three of us in this panel, we're all Muslim, right? Islam is the truth. There's nothing wrong about praying. We are allowed, and the whole world is a masjid.
Alhamdulillah, bro. Alhamdulillah, I couldn't agree
So
with you
if they
more.
are
Islam
lying,
is the haqq.
I am going to fight with the truth. Islam is the truth, and I won't compromise. This is the truth. Whatever the people want to say, they could say it, and they're wrong. They will try to spread more lies. Islam is the truth, and I won't compromise about that to fit some weird idea that people will hate it and it's bad.
Yeah, but bro, I agree. I think Islam is the haqq. Couldn't be more true. Alhamdulillah. What I'm saying, though, let's say 9/11 never happened. Let's say there was never this idea perpetuated against Muslims that they were terrorists or they invoked for terrorism. They did 9/11, so on and so forth. Let's say that never existed and Muslims were never demonized and they went to go to pray in Times Square. I still think there would be a response of like, hey, this isn't courteous. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. So I think you're looking at it from an angle of, well, we need to fight back. Fuck that. They're saying that we're terrorists and shit. Well, we're going to show them that our religion is more Christ-like. Okay, yeah, I mean, it is more Christ-like. I agree with that. But I don't think that praying in public and provoking people and being
I don't think so.
or invoking a display of less courtesy will actually help that narrative. I don't see the return there.
Especially because that specific area is a place where protests happen literally every day. We're loud people waving flags of foreign countries, Iranian flags.
Prayer is not a protest, Akhi. Prayer is
okay,
worship.
so then without 9/11, a prayer is peaceful. A prayer is majority quiet. So yeah, if there wasn't propaganda, then people would not have a problem with it, especially if they don't have a problem with protests.
But what does protest have to do with anything?
Because people aren't outraged about protests. This is like a town square. This is where people meet. This is where the congregate. That's what it's for.
If a group of Christians go to Times Square right now and protest against abortion, they'll be met with backlash in mainstream media the next day. A bunch of libtards will go crazy. So any sort of action will revoke a response. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, prayer has no purpose there. Prayer has no prayer is ibadah. It's not a celebration. It's not an act of courage. It is, we're going to pray in our masajid because it's constitutionally protected and we can do that without any harm or any sort of backlash or anybody bothering us for that matter because people were screaming. Now, in regards to the time of the Prophet, ﷺ, if he was praying in public because maybe there weren't as many masajid and there weren't that many Muslims, that's different. He's a prophet. His job is to spread Islam. Our job can be to spread Islam, but in a way that will be met with the least resistance possible. I think that's doing da'wah like that of Uthman ibn Farouk, Warner. That's my position. And I think that's a really fair position to have.
I think the point was proven because the outrage that Myron's having right now over praying in Times Square, there was no outrage about the Jews celebrating the Antichrist. And so if this is a Christian country,
get them
which
out
is what
of
he's
here
saying.
too. I said, get them the fuck out of here too. I said the same thing, bro.
There was. And we responded to that on stream.
There was outrage.
Overall, there was not. So if we,
I literally said, get these Jewish niggas out of here, bro. I said the same shit, man. Like again, America's a Christian country. You might not agree with that, but it's definitely more of a Christian country than a Muslim country, and it's definitely more of a Christian country than a Jewish country, even though we got retarded evangelical Christians here. I said, get those niggas out of here, too. I'm consistent on this. Like, you know.
The whole administration right now, because they use that idea of it's a Christian country to get subverted by Judaism to believe God must bless those who bless the state of Israel, to say that this is a holy war. And Hegseth thinks that he's a crusader, even though the Crusades were about reclaiming Jerusalem for the Christians. And Jerusalem's owned by the Jews. So this idea, it's a Christian country. This is how the entire administration, dominated by evangelical Christians, should be separate from Catholics and Orthodox, that these people are pretty much just worshiping Jews and don't even worship and do anything Christ-like at all. They've used this narrative to bring us into a war.
But
so,
that's
I
why
mean,
I say,
dying on this hill has not been effective.
No, that's why I say, though, culturally it's Christian more so than religiously. Look, Christianity has been washed time and time again. It's diluted. And so there's so many different denominations. You got Protestantism, you got evangelical Protestantism. They liken the Old Testament to fulfill their prophecies of Christ coming back, but then they need the Antichrist. So that's why Israel needs to expand. I get it. And that's kind of the whole ideology that Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump are invoking indirectly or on purpose. Who knows whether it's inadvertent or not. But I think still the country is still culturally Christian. That's what he's trying to say is this can be seen as something that's rather provocative, even if people are Catholics and they're still having sex and drinking. And it doesn't still take away from the fact that these people do identify as Christian religiously. If they were to be asked what they celebrate, what holidays they identify with, it would be that of Christianity.
Yeah,
I think that's like the greater point to be made.
It has nothing to do with how the country identifies. Like, look, if they're not, devout Christians, that's irrelevant. What I'm talking about is it's still a Christian base.
It doesn't really seem like that anymore, especially with the administration. But
what happened to bro? Look, we can agree to disagree. Let's have Goyim unite. Okay, we're all Goy. There's 3 Gentiles in this call right now. None of us are chosen people. We'll all be targeted at some point. You guys have already been targeted.